Imagine standing at a crossroads, confronted with a choice. Each path leads to a different outcome, a different version of the future. Now, imagine that every choice you could make already exists in a field of infinite possibilities, just waiting for you to observe it, to choose it, to make it real. This isn't just the realm of science fiction. It's where cutting-edge quantum mechanics intersects with timeless questions about free will and divine omniscience. Today, we're diving into a fascinating thought experiment. What if the answers to some of our deepest spiritual and philosophical questions lie not in opposition, but in synergy with the principles of quantum physics and psychology? What if God's omniscience, the quantum wave function, and human free will are threads in the same tapestry, woven together to reveal a profound truth about existence? Let's start with a quick review of some basic quantum mechanics. At the quantum level, particles exist in a state of superposition, a blend of all possible states until observed. The act of observation collapses this cloud of probabilities into a single reality. It's called the observer effect, and it's not just a physical phenomenon, it's deeply tied to consciousness. Now let's overlay this with the human experience of choice. Free will, in its essence, feels like standing before a field of options, weighing them and selecting one. Quantum mechanics provides a compelling metaphor for this process. Before we choose, all potential outcomes exist simultaneously, a quantum superposition of possibilities. The moment we choose, we collapse that potential into a singular reality. But where does God fit into this picture? Let's think of divine omniscience as the ultimate observer, not one that dictates outcomes, but one that encompasses all possibilities across all time. Like the quantum field, God holds every potential reality simultaneously, aware of every path we might take, but not intervening to determine which path we choose. Free will, then, is the mechanism by which we, as conscious agents, collapse these potentials into lived experiences. And the unconscious mind, with its latent possibilities, mirrors the quantum superposition, the space where unmanifested realities reside. This dynamic interplay between God's omniscience, human free will, and quantum superposition isn't a paradox. It's a partnership. It shows us that free will operates not in opposition to divine knowledge, but within its framework, actualizing specific paths from a field of infinite potential. Now, consider the relationship between knowledge, choice, and time. In quantum mechanics, time is not a linear arrow, but a dimension where all possibilities coexist. Similarly, divine knowledge transcends time, encompassing every possible moment as a single eternal now. Choice is where we come in. When we make a decision, we actualize one of these possibilities and experience it in the linear flow of time. But here's the twist. From the perspective of omniscience, all choices already exist. Our free will doesn't contradict divine knowledge. It engages with it, bringing timeless possibilities into temporal reality. This is a radical reframing of causality. It suggests that time and choice are human constructs necessary for our subjective experience but secondary to the greater truth of an interconnected, timeless field. So, what does this mean for our everyday lives? Let's turn to the triad of faith, love, and responsibility. Faith is the trust that our choices matter, that they collapse potential into reality in alignment with a greater harmony. Love is the entanglement that binds us to one another and to the universe. And responsibility is the acknowledgement that every choice reverberates through this web of connection. Like quantum entanglement, our actions influence not only our own reality, but also the shared reality of those around us. The coherence we create through acts of faith and love fosters harmony, while dissonance arises from choices out of alignment with collective well-being. What's the takeaway? At its core, this quantum perspective suggests that God's omniscience and human free will are not opposites, but complements. Omniscience provides the infinite field of potential. Free will actualizes specific outcomes. And our conscious choices, like the observer effect in quantum physics, shape the reality we experience. In this model, omniscience is non-local awareness, holding all probabilities without forcing outcomes. Free will is the participatory act of collapsing the wave function. And love, trust, and responsibility become the ethical and spiritual imperatives that guide how we navigate this interconnected system. So, what does this mean for us here today? It means that we're not passive players in a pre-written script, nor are we solitary agents disconnected from a greater whole. Instead, we are co-creators in a dynamic and participatory universe, working in tandem with a transcendent, omniscient field to bring possibilities into being. The next time you stand at a crossroads, remember, every potential path already exists. Your choice matters. It is the act of creation itself, the moment when the infinite becomes the real. And in that act, you are not alone. You are entangled with the divine, with the quantum field, and with every conscious being sharing this intricate, beautiful web of existence.